If I were president, I would combat the insecurities that have changed our development and stolen from us our true identity as Africa's greatest nation. I would openly declare war on terrorism, resume in the Sambisa forest, and assume my role as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. I shall not return to Aso Rock until every road and every citizen of this nation is safe. Our children, our assets, would not have to endure the anguish of poverty and unstable educational system resulting in multiple ASU strikes. I will prioritize education. I will make it affordable, accessible, and most importantly, obligatory. Every parent whose under 18-year-old child is found not in the corners of the schools, but in corners of the streets, would answer to the Nigerian government for negligence, recklessness of their own children. I will ensure we employ teacher leaders as they are the custodians of our assets, our children, and groom them to compete at global standards. When I become president, I will immediately declare these two major offenses as treasonable to uphold the sanctity of this nation. One, terrorism, our number one enemy that has killed more than 40,000 Nigerians over the last 10 years. Rendering wives widows, husbands widowers, and children orphans. Terrorism, kidnapping, banditry has displaced millions of Nigerians, separated them from families, and prevented local and foreign investors from seeing the true potential of our economy. Corruption. Since 1970, this nation has earned more than $1 trillion, approximately 500 trillion naira from the sales of our natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, does this nation look like 500 trillion has passed through us? I shall declare corruption a national economic treason, making scapegoats of our leaders who have abused the trust of these people. Because corruption has become a national epidemic that has eaten up into the fabric of our nation. And it has continuously become the hindrance to the social economic developments of the great nation called Nigeria. I shall tackle corruption by adopting the Lee Kuan Yew Singaporean methodology and ensure that the full weight of our national justice is imposed on the greatest enemy of this nation, which is corruption. One of our most crucial sectors is the healthcare, yet it is also subject to the greatest carelessness in this dear nation, where we find young, talented doctors jackpying for opportunities in greener pasture. The COVID-19, the COVID epidemic was an eye-opener to deficiencies and inadequacies of our healthcare system. If I become president, I will immediately prioritize a fast solution to the healthcare system to resolving the problems of this sector. I will encourage, reward, and compensate our doctors according to acceptable global standards. Our doctors shall be respected and given a sense of social belonging so they can discharge their responsibilities effectively. In a nation of over 200 million people, we cannot boast of 100 standard public health centers, which is why I will ensure that all 774 local governments have accessible, affordable, and even free healthcare system that will cater to our young and old ones. If I'm elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is one of the countries with the largest road networks in Africa, infrastructure would be a top priority of my social economic development. That is why I shall establish a one ward, one infrastructure policy in the 8,806 wards all over Nigeria, and appoint 8,806 managers to ensure and tackle the infrastructure deficits of this nation. Employing businesses and replacing consumption with production. so we can take advantage of our true potential and become the giant of Africa we always claim to be. When I become president, I will first hold myself, my friends, and family accountable. For national accountability starts with me. This will send a strong message that impunity, illicit favors, and corruption would be eradicated with immediate effect the day I become the president. If elected, the Industrial Revolution would be the benchmark of this nation, where the model market of Kano, the manufacture of Aba, one of the greatest markets in Africa, and the famous market of Onitsha will be a footprint for global infrastructure. I shall establish the policy of one local government, 10 factories, where all 774 local governments will experience an industrial revolution. This will actualize our vision of over 8,000 factories in our first 4 years of becoming the president. I will be a leader that puts states before self and implement visions that goes beyond 4 years into 400 generations to come. When I become the president, we shall no longer demand diamonds for peanuts. No one expects to recruit a JP Morgan MD and appoint him or her as a finance minister and require him to accept cola nuts for the professional excellence he's about to discharge. If I'm president, I shall appoint competent ministers, DGs, and heads of parastatals and mandate them to manage their ministries like a PLC, like a business person. The nation would empower them with essential resources and give them the opportunity to perform at global standards. I would eradicate favoritism and substitute it with meritocracy, where anybody qualified to govern will do so and be given the opportunity to demonstrate his or her competence. From the DG to the minister, all leaders shall enter into what I call a performance contract with the people of Nigeria. A contract that holds you responsible and accountable for your promise to this nation. We shall have the most important ministry. This is what I call the performance contract ministry. A ministry mandated to carry out an annual performance assessment on every leader, as everyone shall be accountable to the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Fellow Nigerians, I want you and every one of you to demand a competent administration from your next president. From the president to the ministers, civil servants to local government chairmen, you must remind them that everyone who has sworn an oath, an obligation to their social contract, shall do so and shall be answerable to the Nigerian people. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Sijibomi Ogundele. I'm the Group Managing Director of Sujimoto Group. I'm not running for office. I'm not running for president. The only thing I'll be running for very soon is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, private sector, okay? But this message is to remind everyone that performing their civic obligation is a matter of national importance, that we must immediately reflect on the qualities they desire in the next president, that we must look beyond our ethnic and religious differences. As Nigerians, we must also remember that the greatness of every nation starts with the character and the strength of its leadership. I have my PVC, and as we approach February 25th, 2023, I remind myself that Nigeria's transformation starts with me. I shall vote for the man who would transform this nation to reach its true potential. What about you? Who are you voting for? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day.